me, and I might have kept a little bit of a secret. So I might have just gone back from New York. Like, I got off the train at 2:30 and it's 6 o'clock now. Just got back from New York. It was a totally grief-driven decision. My dog died on October 29th, and I booked the trip no, my dog died on October 25th. I booked the hotel and Amtrak ride on October 29th. It was oh my god, wow, I'm miserable. I deserve some serotonin. So yeah, let's talk about it. I'm gonna start with the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Blends palette, and I'm gonna start with some of the shade Signs on a little brush, tap off some excess, and I'm gonna start placing it right here. But yeah, no, like I said, totally grief-driven decision. My bank account may hate me for a month or two, but it was 100% the thing that I needed. I haven't had much to drink today. This isn't me like getting choked up and emotional. It's dehydrated. But it was I need some real time to myself without any sort of anything. So yeah, like I said, 100% grief driven, which is, I'm not gonna say funny because death isn't funny. But I left straight from work on Saturday, which I think it was the 15th. The Thursday, which would have made it the 13th, we found out my grandmother died. So again, not funny, but I'm like, oh wow, now this trip really coincides with serotonin. Like, I felt bad leaving my mother, but I'm like, it's 2 days before. It's non-refundable. And she's like, no, it's fine, go. And blah blah blah. But I'm like, oh, this is not ideal. And I don't want any like pity or anything, not pity, about my grandmother. I'm like, we weren't close. My mother and her weren't close. So it's been a weird week. Oh my god, it hasn't even been a week. Jesus. But yeah. But no, I left straight from work. That is a thing on its own, because the schedule had the kid in for 3 o'clock, and I had told him, like, hey, you can come a little closer to 3 if you want, 3:30 if you want, because it's a 10-minute walk, blah blah blah. He's like, no, I need that money. And I saw him on Friday afternoon, because he had come in. He's like, hey, can I just like sit downstairs and eat my lunch? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you work here, it's not like I'm letting a stranger down there. It's fine. And you know, when he left, I'm like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. He's like, yeah. He didn't show up. And I'm gonna take some of the shade Sunsets with the tiniest bit of chase. But yeah, no, so he didn't show up. And my manager was not answering me. Like, I had called her, like, I texted him too, obviously. Like, I'm not stupid, and like, I had texted him at like 3:15. I'm like, hey, I know I told you this time, but you said you were gonna be here at 3, so you know, a little worried. Texted him, that was like 3:15. Texted him again at 3:30, called him. So I tried calling my manager. She did not pick up. She did not answer any of my texts. And I'm like, so I ended up texting the district manager. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm like, I have to leave. I'm like, there's no two ways around it. I'm like, that I had to leave at this day, which is why the kid was scheduled for 3, so I could be there with plenty of time for the 4:25 train. She's like, okay. I did have someone come in, but I had to close the store. And like, I texted the district manager mostly so I won't get written up. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I can't just, it's not happening. It's not happening. So I had a girl come in, but she's like, my Uber's not gonna get here until 4:30. I'm like, girl. So I ended up leaving my key for her, and thankfully it didn't get stolen. I hid it somewhere. And I had to go after I got off the train today to go pick it up from the store. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of sunsets now to blend out the edges. But I texted her at like, it was like 8 o'clock because I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I forgot to clock out because, you know, I was rushing. I'm like, there's no way. And she's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't pick up earlier. I was asleep. I'm like, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you mean you were asleep? I'm like, girl. And like, she's horrible at responding to texts anyways. So I'm like, girl. But she hasn't said anything about me being in trouble, so fingers crossed here because I'm really not looking for that. And I'm gonna go back in with some of Signs again just to reinforce it. But both of my trains ended up being late. Well, delayed. The one Saturday night got delayed in transit. We got stuck waiting for a bus. And we couldn't leave without them apparently. And then the one today got delayed both before I got on and then after I got on. So it was just, I was supposed to be off the train at 1:55. I got off at like 2:30. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I don't think I appreciate this very much. But obviously, what can I do? And then I'm going to take a little bit of Giggle and then the tiniest bit of Promise, which is mostly compromised from Giggle. And I'm just going to pat that like here. But I ended up staying at the same exact hotel I did in my July trip, and the same one I'll be staying for March. Just because it's conveniently located to everything I want to do. It's in Times Square. And I saw 3 Broadway shows, so. But they also don't do a proper security deposit, so I don't need to factor that into my budget. They'll be like, it's basically goes, hey, you pay, you know, the nightly resort fee that New York has us do, and then we'll charge you $1. But if something gets messed up with the room, blah blah blah, then you'll pay the deposit. And I don't smoke and I was not in my hotel room for most of the trip, so I was fine. I should be fine. But with a tiny flat brush, I'm going to do a little bit of Signs and a little bit of Bewitched together to do my little smudgy smudge. But no, I had to get a janitor to come to my room. Love that for me. Because, follow me here. I don't wash my hair every day because I don't need to. I don't get my hair greasy very quickly. Blah, 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 blah. So I showered Saturday before I went to work. So, you know, I was like, okay, I'll take a shower Sunday morning before I go out and I'll just, you know, focus on like body wash and that nonsense. So, there's absolutely no water pressure in my room. It was, like, I took the saddest shower I could, because I'm like, I still need to shower before I even go out, blah, blah, blah. And I went to the desk, I'm like, hey, I don't want to be, like, a pain. I should have been a pain, because the light in my bathroom was also, it was, like, rectangular, half of it wasn't working, and there was no light in the shower, so if I had closed, like, if I had drawn the shower curtain, I would have been completely in the dark. I'm like, whatever. I'm here for 3 nights. Whatever. But before I left for the day on Saturday, I'm like, hey, Sunday. I'm like, hey, kind of really need this. Please. And they went, yeah, I'll have someone go up, take your do not disturb sign off. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm leaving for the day. I won't have it on anyways. And then I'm going to take a little bit of cream and sugar and I'm just going to pack that in my brow bone. But even after the water pressure got fixed, it also wouldn't get hot. Like, before it got fixed, it was on for literally 10 minutes and it was freezing cold still. So that had to be dealt with. But the shower head was so small that I wasn't able to get a successful, not like a successful shower, a satisfying shower. How's that? I was just like, wow, this is sad. Like, kind of hate this, but whatever. But also, I was trying to soft launch the idea of a New York trip in my past videos. I was like, oh my god, these baked goods sound so good from this place in New York, blah blah blah. They're on my list of places to go. Or oh my god, I can't find this specific brush. What happened to it? It was already packed in my bag. So like I was trying subliminal messaging, but like you're already gonna have to hear about my New York trip in March for the next 2 months in my plans. So I'm like, you know what, they deserve a little break. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of the NYX glitter primer like I usually do. Also, maybe was not a good idea to crack open a Monster this late, but this is my first energy drink of the day. All I got for breakfast was a yogurt cup and a water from Pret. Oh my god, I forgot how much I missed Pret. We used to have a few in Boston before the pandemic, but they closed. And I used to love the little yogurt cup, specifically the apple one with the granola on top. Oof. That's all I have to say. But this is from Terra Cosmetics. This is the shade Celestial Petal, and I'm just gonna place that kind of more, not like the inner corner, but like the inner, like here. I don't know what to call that, but I'm gonna place a little there too. Oh yeah, that layers so nicely. But oh my god, I ate so much. I was saying it to my mother, I'm like, I ate more in 2 days than I usually do in the span of a week. I have horrible eating habits as it is. I usually only eat dinner. But like still. Just drag this in a little. I don't even know if this is gonna show up. I'm gonna try to put some of this Maybelline New York Tattoo Studio sharpenable gel pencil, Jesus Christ, in the shade 821 Stardust Chrome. Like, again, it's like an iridescent chrome color. So I don't know how well it's actually gonna show up on my waterline, but, or if it should even be there. The answer is it's not showing up. Like, there's the tiniest bit of blue flecks in my waterline now, but like it's minuscule and I've already committed. Like, it's the tiniest bit of blue reflex, which is sad because I want it to be visible, like, so badly. I really don't think that should be in my waterline either, but don't do this at home, kids. Alright, I'm gonna try to reinforce that if I can off camera, but this is gonna be it for your eyes. Kind of simple, because again, it's 6:20 right now. I do have dinner to eat. But I'm gonna put on some lashes and I'll be back in a second. But we're gonna move on to the base. This is from NYX Professional Makeup. This is the Plump Dried Back Serum Primer. But no, like I said, I saw 3 Broadway shows. My wallet is not happy with me right now. I saw the matinee of Death Becomes Her on Sunday at 3 p.m. I'm not saying that was also the main purpose of my trip, but Megan Hilty is leaving in January. And I saw the show with understudies in July, so I'm like, well, like, if I'm going to New York. So Megan Hilty was there. Jennifer Samard wasn't, who plays Helen. So I'm like, you know what? Fantastic. Again, I know I like the songs and everything about it, but it was especially nice seeing one of the people that's supposed to be performing. Again, she was... women. That's all I have to say. But every show, because Madeline's a movie star, so she gets sponsored. They did a sponsor for the wedding. This one was sponsored by Wicked the movie. I have been changed for good, because I think Wicked comes out on the day that this is going to be posted. Maybe it's either this Friday or next Friday, and I don't know which one. I don't really care either, but that's neither here nor there. But I also really love it's not on the album because it's a spoken line, not a song. Stop fingering my hole, you pervert, after Helen gets shot, obviously, so. And then I'm gonna go in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum in the shade Main Squeeze. But I also on Sunday did a double feature, if you will. I saw Little Shop of Horrors. That was a considerably smaller theater. It was like minuscule. I had a fantastic seat though, and I'm like, I was at a really good seat for Death Becomes Her. I splurged on front row mezzanine seats. Like I said, Death Becomes Her is one of my favorite shows. So is Little Shop. But again, since the Little Shop theater is so small as it is, any seat would be a good seat, but mine was especially good. I actually don't know any of the current cast. Like, it's one of those things that rotates a lot. And I'm not saying they stunt cast, but they do a little. Like they had Elizabeth Gillies and Milo, I don't know his name. He's from some Disney nonsense. But they very often have like celebrities. Obviously they make sure they can sing, but like the lady playing Audrey is Emmy nominated, I think. She was in The Handmaid's Tale, I think. Don't know who she is. She was fantastic. Again, the show was really good. Again, I know I like the show. I also completely forgot to go look at the merch table because by the time the show finished, I had been out for 12 hours straight. So I'm like, maybe not. This is from LYS. This is the Triple Fix Serum Skin Tint in the shade LN3. Again, it's too dark for me right now, but c'est la vie. And then Monday night, I ended up seeing The Great Gatsby. I only saw it because I entered into a lottery. Not a lot of shows play on Monday, and one of like the only other options of things that I knew or was semi-familiar with was Heather's, and I saw that in July. No offense, don't need to see it again. Like again, Death Becomes Her was a specific, I'm like I would like to at least see a majority of the original cast. But I won Great Gatsby tickets off of the telecharge lottery, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. But they had the guy, Jeremy Jordan. He was apparently the original Gatsby. He just came back to the show. Ironically, he will also be on a little hiatus very soon because he's doing a little tour with his... Apparently he has a band. Found that out because I got his sponsored Facebook post on my way home today. It was like, oh, see Jeremy Jordan in whatever his band's name is at the Brightening Music Hall on Saturday the 22nd? Whatever this Saturday is. I was like... I'm like, no, I will not go see his band, but thank you anyways. I know I had said very recently to somebody, it was either my mother or my friend. One of my friends. I was like, I feel like Broadway, not that there aren't good male vocalists, but the bar isn't as high for male vocalists as they are female vocalists. Like, I can count on like one hand how many male vocalists I like. Jeremy Jordan is being added to that list because, my god. I also listened to the cast recording on my way home. He sounded considerably better in person than he did in the cast recording. So, shout out him. He was fantastic. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I've never read The Great Gatsby. It wasn't an assigned book. And I just never got around to it. But obviously I knew the general, like, ideas and plots going into it. But like, it was really good, but I wouldn't go see it if it was torn anywhere near me, if that makes any sense. And I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer in the shade Royal Icing 1.1N. But no, I was not worried about Little Shop of Horrors. But I greatly, greatly, greatly adore Jonathan Groff. Like, if both of us were straight. But like, I love him. Again, when I say male vocalists on Broadway, he's one that I think of. So I was just a little, again, not concerned, but I'm like, I just didn't know if I was going to be able to separate him. But the guy, it was an understudy who was playing Seymour that night, but he was really good. And like, especially, there's a part in, I I don't remember what song it is, because like I listen to the album all the time, but like I'm just used to everything coming up that I don't know most of the songs off the top of my head. But like I was a little worried about one specific song. He did a really good job. So I'm like, okay. Again, not that I was concerned, because obviously they make sure that, you know, their understudies can sing as well, but like it was a little, yeah. It's just separating, hey, I know this isn't the original cast that's doing this, I need to like remember that and not have the same expectations, they're not going to do the same vocal riffs, blah 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 blah. But he was really good, and again, the girl playing Audrey was so good. It's Madeline something. I looked it up earlier, and I'm like, I have no idea who this lady is. I haven't seen her in anything. So the name just unfortunately didn't stick in my mind. But she was fantastic. I'm gonna go in with some of the Makeup Forever Artist Color Crayon in the shade Luminous Taupe, just to do a little contour. Who would have thought? But no, when I was heading out on Sunday, you know, my train was a little delayed, so I'm like, you know what, all I was doing is I was leaning against like a support beam in the station. I was on my phone, I had one earbud in, because I also had Google Maps on and like speaking to me, so I won't get lost, but also so I won't look like a stupid tourist looking at their phone being like, huh, what? But you know, there's a lady and her, I'm gonna assume husband, boyfriend, friend, male companion, if you will. And they're kind of like looking around, looking at their phone. They had Google Maps open, I would like that to be known. And they saw me. And I know the look of a lost tourist when I see one. Because the amount of times I've had to help them in train stations in Boston. Or when they come into my work to ask me, when they have their phones in their hand. And I'm like, girl, like just because I live here doesn't mean I know where everything is. Usually I do, but that's not the point. So she looked at me and like I could see the gears turning, and I looked at her, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going either. She's like, I was wondering if you knew how to get to Wall Street. I'm like, girl, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm like, I am not from here. She's like, oh. She's like, you look like you are. I'm like, thank you. I move with confidence and with purpose, so I don't end up like you. But I'm like, I got no clue, lady. Ironically enough, I did end up going down to the financial district the next day. But I'm like, lady, I'm like, you have your phone open. There is a transit option right next to the car. Click on it. And then this is from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the hybrid blush in the shade Petal. But I also went to a dispensary on Sunday afternoon, because Saturday I could not stay asleep for the life of me. Like, and understandably so. I'm in a new place with a new bed, and sometimes I just have trouble staying asleep anyway, so I'm like, you know what? Fine. I found a dispensary that sold like 2 packs of sleepy gummies, because I'm like, all I need help sleeping is, you know, tonight and the next night, and then I go home. So I don't need any more because I have my own gummies at home, and I'll be where I know. What kind of bum-ass dispensaries is New York running? And like I told my mother about it, she's like, well, it'll make sense. I go in, and the guy who's at the door is like, oh hey, everything's on a kiosk. You can place your order there. I'm like, okay. You know, the kiosk doesn't even do like what dispensary websites do and do, oh, are you over 21? Yes or no? Didn't do that. So I'm like, okay, weird. But then they're like, oh, you know, go pick up your order at the counter with the person, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get asked for my ID there either. And I'm like, and like the dispensary that I usually go to, you need to be, they need to scan your ID to even let you into the dispensary part of the building, and then they need to scan your ID at the register before they can start ringing you up, no matter how old you are. And I told my mother about it, and apparently it is a thing that dispensaries will just like show up and run it without a permit until they get caught, and then pack up and leave. Like, not in a sketchy, fake weed kind of way, but like in a not using the right permanents and saving themselves probably thousands of dollars. And I went, so I don't know if that's what was it, but I'm like, that's an awful lot to invest into a property that you're gonna abandon in a few months. But I would like to say that that gummy put me to sleep. So at least it worked. I paid $5 for it. $6 if we count the fact that I told her to keep the change because it was $5 and something cents. I want to say 60 to 80 cents. Like, I don't care about 40 to 20 cents in change. I really, really don't. But I'm going to take the NYX Professional Makeup Buttermelt blush in the shade Butter Together. And slightly denser brush. And then... oh! Also, I didn't get ID'd at dinner on Sunday night. Which was a little fucking rude. But, I went to this place, I got a limoncello spritz, and I was like, okay, one weakest drink I've had in my life. I'm like, girl, like, I don't even like the taste of alcohol, and this is just sad and weak. There's also a unidentified piece of floating black schmutz in my drink, so I'm like, you know what? Just please take this back. I'm not drinking it. I'm like, it was probably just a piece of napkin or like a bread crust or something. But I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm not drinking that. But it was probably for the better that I sent it back. Because I did end up getting a drink at Death Becomes Her. It was a Hellini, because Helen. So it was supposed to be like a Bellini. But, it was just straight liquor. Not straight liquor. It was just Prosecco and like vodka. There was no juice to be had. I'm like, girl, are you trying to kill me? Like, I don't drink. Are you trying to kill me? And then this is from Nabla. This is the Close-Up Blur and Powder Blush in the shade Petite. And like, I'm not saying like, oh my god, I look so young. People must think I'm a teenager. Like, I feel like I look my age. I feel like I look like I'm in my early 20s. So obviously, I feel like I look young enough that I should be getting ID'd. Thankfully, I did get ID'd at Death Becomes Her and had dinner on Monday night because I'm like, I don't know if I can live like this. Like, I didn't have like my wallet out prepared to like be ID'd. Like, it was in my pocket, but that's just because that's where it had been anyways. So it's not like I was waiting with my ID just like, oh my god, I'm so young and ready to be ID'd. So I'm like, girl. And then I'm gonna take some of my Fenty Beauty, what is this called again? Jesus Christ. Bright Fix Instant Brightening and Blur and Powder in the shade Lavender 01. This isn't as blurring, as brightening as my Jaclyn Hill's one, but this is so blurring. And even though it's not like a visible tint, I feel like the lavender will go and tie with the eye a little nicely. Again, not like it's a tint of lavender, but sorry, brush hair. But bam. And then this is from Colourpop Cosmetics. This is the Super Shock Cheek Pearlize in the shade Flexitarian. I feel like a lighter, brighter highlighter is gonna work well for this look. Also, I lost my Ola Henriksen lip balm. I got back to the hotel room Sunday night after Little Shop. You know, I'm taking all the things out of my pocket. I'm like my lip balm isn't here. So like, I turned everything inside out. My bag, my other bag, like the bag I brought out and about, obviously. Because I had it earlier in the day. I applied lip balm, but she was gone. So before I even went to get breakfast on Monday morning, I went to Sephora. I'm like, there's no chance in hell. Especially because that was the only lip balm I had, because that's my pocket lip balm. I always have it on me. So I had to get a new one. Just really pissed off because I was about 3/4 the way done with it. So like, I was so close, yet so far, and the world said no. And then for lips, I'm gonna go in with a bit of the MAC lip liner in the shade Cool Spice. I did sharpen this because I know the last time I used this, I was like, oh, like, I need to sharpen this next time. Thankfully I remembered, because this was a nub. Nub, I tell you. I'm just gonna do my stand. I cannot talk while doing this. I hate it. But I'm gonna blend this out a little like I usually do. But no, like I said, I literally ate more in 2 days than I do in a week. And like, never at any point was I like disgustingly full. I was like, wow, I wonder what happens when I'm like actually sustained and have enough food in my body to like be energetic. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Kylie blush just to put a little color on my lips. But no, I counted. I think it was 10 places that I went to. So, and keep in mind, some of these places I got multiple things. So, really, I also didn't finish every single thing. I didn't finish 3 out of the 12 things I got. So, but oh my god. When I got in Saturday night, it was like 9:30 by the time I checked in. I'm like, you know what, I'm a little hungry. So I made sure to eat before I left so I won't be like starving. So I went to Los Tacos #1. I'm not a taco person. My father's a taco person. They were the best tacos I've had in my life. I got 2 carne asada ones. And it comes with, I think it was just cilantro, onion, a little bit of pico de gallo, and guacamole, and it comes with that, like that for all the tacos. And it was so good. I also had the best bagel from Apollo Bagels. I got a plain bagel with scallion cream cheese and tomato. The tomato was like seasoned and had olive oil. It was so good. So good. The cream cheese wasn't like my favorite on earth, but like it was. Oh. This is from Half Magic. This is the Magic Drip Glitter Lip Gloss in the shade Y2K Cherub. But no, I have my list typed out because I can't remember all these things that I ate just off the top of my head. And I'm gonna be honest, one of these opinions is gonna be a little controversial. Like, I'm gonna be so honest here. So honest. Yeah. But no. Saturday night, went to Los Tacos #1. Sunday, I went to this place called Padoka Bakery in, like, slightly Upper East Side. I got a pumpkin coffee cake and an apple cider. The apple cider was fine. The coffee cake, fantastic. I went to Honey's Bakery. I got the triple chocolate cookie and the turkey croissant roll. The turkey croissant was good. I didn't finish it just because the triple chocolate cookie was really good. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite cookie ever. I went to this place called Artichoke Basil's Pizza. It was not good. I got an artichoke slice. It just tasted like a very creamy white pizza. Sorry, that's my timer being like, hey, hurry up. And then between shows Sunday night, I went to Boca di Bacco in the theater district. It was okay. That was the place that gave me schmutz in my drink. Monday, I went to Krispy Kreme for the first time. That was really good donut. I'm not a donut person. Apollo Bagels, really good. This is gonna be controversial. I went to the Industry Pizzeria. What do you mean I waited 10-15 minutes in line for that? Like, it's a very Neapolitan style pizza, and I despise Neapolitan pizzas because there's no flavor to the sauce. So that was my issue. I might try it again come March, but I'm gonna get a pizza that has like cured meats on it. That way it will kind of hopefully give a little flavor. But like, it was so pretty. I was so excited. It was a nice thin crust, but like sauce. I went to Little Cupcake Bake Shop. I got the pumpkin spice slice. Probably tied for my favorite slice of cake ever. And the first one goes to Claude Bakery in the West Village. Their blackout cake. That's a good cake. And then I went to Her Name is Han for dinner before The Great Gatsby. It was good. I wasn't thrilled with my entree. I got a chicken yuzu noodle soup because it was cold. I can't eat soup with chopsticks, I'm gonna be so honest here. Because like it was noodle soup, so there was chicken and noodles to be picked up with a chopstick, and I'm like, I can't do this. But I got the cream and corn croquettes for an appetizer. I could eat 100 of those. I'm gonna be so honest here. But I need to go fix my bangs and stop rambling to you about all the food I ate and give myself some self-preservation. But I need to go fix my bangs, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, and this is the finished look. I like how it came out. Not that I haven't done my makeup in forever. I haven't done my makeup in a week to the day. And I still have 2 videos done after this, so I'm ahead of my game. But yeah, like I said, not that I was like, oh my god, New York, it's such a secret, but it's like I don't want to be talking about that for 2 weeks straight like I did with my original July trip. Again, I still have my big, slightly longer trip come March, so obviously that will be discussed. But yeah, like I said, it was totally a grieving impulse thing. Again, like I said, I really don't regret it. I needed those like 2.5 days to myself. Like, really, really, really needed them. But yeah. Again, I really like these eyes. Like, I love a blue shimmer with like purpley pinks going on. I thought about doing a sunset eye look because I have a raspberry, like a new raspberry blush I want to keep using. But like, I do a lot of sunset looks, but I love sunset colors. But I'm also out at 3, supposedly, on Saturday, because, I say supposedly, because the kid that was supposed to come in at 3 for the day that I left is scheduled again. So I don't trust him, even though my coworker said he was on time yesterday, but I'm done with these. I'm done.